We're here in Vancouver. You're homeless. Tell me about it.
Well, I've had problems with alcohol and drugs for a number of years now, and I got to the point where it was unmanageable, so I went into detox and did a brief stint in detox. I did a 7-day detoxification, and since then have been struggling to find affordable shelter because of the very, very high cost of living in Vancouver, and having trouble finding gainful employment. So what I've resorted to is panhandling from time to time to come up with shelters when there are no beds available at the shelters downtown. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. But,
Where'd you sleep last night?
Last night I actually slept in a shelter.
And
So,
how you're obviously clean and sober now.
yes.
And how long clean and sober?
Since my detox stint, it's been a month and 2 weeks.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's awesome. That is really awesome. So talk about the housing situation.
Well, I've come to find that, especially in the Lower East Side, where the only kind of affordable housing is available, that the places they're not very clean. To be quite honest, there's a huge problem with bed bugs. There's a problem with manipulative landlords, I found. I actually had trouble. The place I had just before I went to detox, the manager and the owner both manipulated their clients to essentially end up with their entire welfare checks.
Right.
You know, like people were giving them their checks to cash, and people were having trouble getting the money back, and
Right.
they didn't take care of any of the trouble with the bed bugs and the cockroaches and these kinds of things. And the rates are going up. I mean, the welfare rates are very low, and employment in the city is actually, the rate is really high. You know, the number of homeless people I know is getting higher and higher. And I think the government's been quite remiss in the way that they've handled the situation as far as cutbacks with social programs and cutbacks for the mentally ill and these kinds of things, which have caused more and more problems in the Lower East Side. Over-medication has caused problems just even between social relationships, you know, if you've ever spent time down there. So
I visited yesterday.
I find it's you know, dire for many people, and the people that there is a decent support network though of people down there. I find when you find the right people, you know, you can find temporary housing, temporary shelter, whatnot. But long term for this city, it's quite bleak actually. So that's what I have to say about it.
What are you trying to do to get out of homelessness?
Well, I am seeking a job. I've been doing job search using a computer when I can, and I have resumes made up. So I'm doing that, and I'm looking for an apartment, probably what they call an SRO, a single residency occupant. You know, that's what I'll end up with. A rooming house, basically, is what I'll get, because I will receive welfare at the end of the month, because I've applied and I will receive it. So that will be fine. So by the end of the month, I should be in a place.
So now welfare here in Canada actually covers some housing.
Well, the allotment is $375 for housing, and in this city, that is just nowhere near enough. I mean, that's the entire welfare rate is $610 in a city where the standard of living, I think that puts you at about a quarter of the poverty level, you know, for a single male, which is extreme actually, and they don't give you a lot of room to work within that. You know, they can't afford transportation, right? You can't afford clothing. You can't afford food after you've paid rent. Basically, that covers your rent, and that's about it. So,
If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
right off the top of my head,
Yep.
a greater bond in the social network would be one, and that includes a greater conception and projection of love between all peoples. I believe a greater understanding of culture and literacy, the arts, these kinds of things, because I think that contributes as well, and a wish for the betterment of my family and all other peoples, quite frankly. That's God's honest truth.
Wow.
I honestly believe those things. So
Well, thank you very much for talking to me.
You're welcome, Mark. Thank you for taking the time.